Bilal Jafris, followed by Reham Malik, Hiba Hajat, and Vishal Kunaratne. The topic will be opposed by Kelani House, starting with the captain, Ashvika Viknaraja, followed by Chatani Vikramasinghe, Hajar Ashraf, and Hafeed Hussain. Our first speaker, Bilal Jafris of Mahaweli House from the proposing team.
According to Deutsche Bank, the current money system is very fragile. Deutsche Bank sees that by 2030, digital currencies will have over 200 million users. In the Imagine 2030 report, Deutsche Bank suggests that digital currencies could eventually replace cash one day as the demand for anonymity and a more decentralized means of payment grows. The crypto market is predicted to grow to over $500 billion in the next 5 years alone. So my dear audience, my team and I aren't here to talk about a future of 50 or 100 years, but rather one as few as 5 to 7 years. Honorable panel of judges, teachers, and my fellow colleagues, a very good morning to you all. The word crypto comes from the Greek word kryptos, which means hidden. Cryptocurrencies are digital currencies which transactions are held and recorded by a decentralized system rather than a centralized authority. In the 90s, Stuart Haber and Nick Szabo were the two people who started off with the theory of blockchain. And then came Satoshi Nakamoto, who revolutionized the idea, creating Bitcoin, the world's first cryptocurrency. Today, the world's economy is suffering from unchecked inflation, failing income levels, increasing inequality, and hyper-regulation of the working class. Cryptocurrency has helped give back the power to the average working person. The underpinning tenet of cryptocurrency is that it has helped, beyond doubt, build a more robust financial system for everyone in this world. Privacy, security, ease of use, accessibility, open innovations are few governing principles that demonstrate that cryptocurrencies is going to be the future of transactions. My dear opponents, let me take an example that hits home to all of us. Sri Lanka was on its way to becoming one of the world's most developed nations, with its tourism industry reaching never before seen heights. However, COVID-19 hit and the country went upside down. Minutes later, a few while later, Sri Lanka went into the worst economic crisis we have ever seen. I'll tell you why. This is because the government and the central bank, the honorable central bank, and I'm being sarcastic here, printed money to their own whims and fancies. My dear audience, if we had a centralized currency, a decentralized currency, we would not have these problems. Because by the very nature of cryptocurrency, any duplication takes a long time, it costs a lot, and the currency cannot be manipulated, as every single action leaves a visible trail and pinpoints any corruption in any wrongdoing. And my dear audience, this is not a hypothetical scenario. As according to the British government, more than 109 countries are on various stages of developing a central bank digital currency, which 10 of them are already launching them for widespread use. This is going to increase the usage of cryptocurrencies and cement its position as the most important innovation in the next few years. The metaverse is going to be the next biggest thing in the next 10 years, with the industry set to grow by $800 billion in 2024. The key instrument that will allow everything is cryptocurrencies. So my dear audience, the future is Meta, and Meta's future is cryptocurrency. The application of blockchain technology has in fact revolutionized the industry it is today, and the positive impacts is on the verge of growing even bigger. Governments adopting digital currencies and new innovations using blockchain improve regulation and value stability. Thank you.
Raja, Captain of Kelani House.
On one hand, we have enthusiastic cryptocurrency supporters who think that cryptocurrency is going to be the world's most dominant currency. And on the other hand, we have cryptocurrency critics who tirelessly work to prove that cryptocurrency is not as efficient as the current monetary systems. It is volatile and it leads to scams, and it often leads to environmental disasters, directly causing climate change. And today, we take the immense pleasure of proving exactly why these crypto critics are not wrong. Respected judges, audience, rational opponents, and my dear friends, On behalf of my team and I, a very good morning to all of you. Cryptocurrency is a digital currency, which is an alternative form of payment created using encryption algorithm. And my opponents here would say that cryptocurrency is very important because they can engage financial transactions without relying on the bank or government. So cryptocurrency can change the world, right? Wrong. This movement started as a small ideological project before attracting 14 billion hackers. And then we also have scams accounting for $8 billion in 2021. The rise of decentralized finance has only led to more criminals taking advantage of people who are just lured around the hype surrounding crypto. According to a survey conducted by Future Europe, they claim that crypto may be a neat idea, but environmentally, they are an unsustainable nightmare. It is more unjustifiable about the number of resources and electricity simply wasted on Bitcoin farming. The BBC News report claims that the miners of cryptocurrency each year produce 30,700 tons of e-waste, and the electricity consumption is more than that of Philippines and Argentina. And why would you want to save the nature, protect the environment, provide a better life for the future generation, and all of this if you still think that cryptocurrency is going to be the future of transactions? Doesn't this sound wrong to you, my dear opponents? Now, tell me, which part of this research or reports accepts that cryptocurrency is even efficient? When countries like El Salvador implemented crypto as its official currency, the country went from an economic growth to an economic decline and suffered tremendously. How about we just accept the downsides of cryptocurrency and make a proper decision for once? Cryptocurrency will not be the future of transactions because currently 40 countries have banned cryptocurrency, like Bangladesh, Indonesia, Egypt, and much more. Which side are you on? The choice is yours.
Our next speaker is Reham Malik from the proposing team.
Imagine if I told you all could have a currency that isn't controlled by the government, a currency where the rich can't exploit the hardworking taxpayers, a currency that is so safe and increasingly stable that I'd put regular money to shame. Now what if I told you all these things are true, ladies and gentlemen? My dear audience, cryptocurrency is still in its fancy stage and yet the most secure form of transaction to exist. Every single invention has gotten better over time. From old rickety light bulbs to fluorescent tubes to LEDs, from old flip phones to 7-touch-inch screen phones. Everything gets better over time, my dear audience. In the future, cryptocurrency will be way better than it is today. It will be more secure, more stable, and most importantly, reliable. My dear confused opponents, let me give you a little lesson in economics. Inflation has caused many currencies to get their value declined with time. Take your trusty US dollar, where $1 back in the 1920s was almost worth $15 in today's currency. However, almost every cryptocurrency at the time it's launched is released with a fixed amount. The source code specifies the amount of any coin, like there are only 21 million bitcoins released in the world. So as the demand increases, its value will increase, which will keep up with the market and in the long run prevent inflation. The history of cryptocurrency is very telling on what stake it holds in the future of finance. Blockchain technology can potentially disrupt the conventional financial systems to check, verify, and authorize transactions. As technology develops, more sectors acknowledge and accept cryptocurrency as a viable financial system. Cryptocurrency could become the conventional financial system in the future. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Chanul from the opposing team.
Put yourself in a situation where you have to put all what you have earned and worked hard for yourself on some untrustworthy digital cash trade system, so-called crypto, and you lose it all. How would that make you feel? Now, why can't cryptocurrency be the main transaction of our future? Because understanding cryptocurrency takes time and effort. If you're not a digital native, the concept of cryptocurrency can feel nothing but the second nature. And trying to invest in something you don't really understand itself is a risk. Now, my dear opponents might believe that cryptocurrency can be taught in schools and etc. Then what about the older generations? You think they will sit comfortably with digital money over physical money? What about the people facing the disorder dementia? You do know as a crypto owner, you could lose all your private keys and the access to all your coins with it, all your holdings, right? Even our own fathers tend to misplace their keys and finally cause chaos in the house just to find those lost keys. A cryptocurrency like Bitcoin fluctuates like crazy. Such extreme volatility does not allow regular use. If you bought something for a single Bitcoin back in December 2017, it was worth 17,000 euros. At the time of the publication, it was worth a little over 5,200 euros. By the time I say this to now, that number may have widely changed. It's impossible to use a currency if you can't reliably determine its long-term value. Like I said, how does it feel to lose it all? It doesn't always promise high rates. How can you trust that which has no rules? As supporters of cryptocurrency proudly say, it is completely unregulated and decentralized. As of yet, there is no central power dictating the rules of cryptocurrency. Also, if you buy something with it and get ripped off, don't expect anyone to help you. If someone hacks into your wallet, no one is coming for your aid. Think, it's unlikely. Think again. This has happened before. If it happens to you, you're on your own. Such is the risk of an unregulated system. Dear opponents, would you like risking all what you have invested unless you're some type of risk taker or gambler? Do you see this as the future? Over to you.
Our next speaker is Hiba Hajat from the proposing team.
Depending on who you ask, cash will not remain king. Honorable panel of judges, respected teachers, and my dear opponents, a very good morning to all of you. My dear opponents has presented his arguments based on security issues, hacks, and theft in cryptocurrency. While you may say that a substantial amount of money was stolen using cryptocurrency, have you ever considered the amount of money stolen from banking and other forms of currencies? Cyber online banking has lost more than $1 trillion due to security-related problems. Credit card frauds have resulted in $27.8 billion, which is expected to rise by $35.6 billion in the future. According to a 2022 report by Chain Analysis, global transactions grew by a whopping 567% to $15.8 trillion over the past years. And of this crime, cryptocurrency only represented 0.15% of transactions. But by the opponents, the main question here is, can you receive that stolen money back when you use banks and other forms of currencies? Well, the simple answer is no. But cryptocurrency can help track down the trail of possible frauds as it uses something called blockchain technology, which tracks down ledgers of transactions that have been maintained. We aren't saying that there is no crime and that we are living in a dream state where nothing bad ever happens. Such crimes need to be acknowledged and will be uprooted. Compare this to the amount lost to crime each year and you will be astounded. In the US alone, $50 billion are stolen annually due to physical identity and other theft. Just imagine aggregating each and every country's figure. How could you even compare this to the minute figures of cryptocurrency? My dear opponents have also claimed about the difficulty to understand in cryptocurrency. My dear opponents, we use cryptocurrency we use money every single day. We use technology every single day. So cryptocurrency may not be too complicated. Even online banking systems and ATMs were difficult to understand at first, but eventually people got the hang of it. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Hajar Ashraf from Kelani House.
My dear opponents, are we really going to make cryptocurrency the transaction of our future, which has only been around for a decade? Well, the London Stock Exchange was founded in 1801 and gold has been a proven custodian for a millennia. Now, nobody really knows what will happen to the cryptocurrencies in the future, and you need to be brave to enter these uncharted waters as an investor. Cryptocurrencies has not proven themselves as long-term investments. My opponents mentioned about blockchain and saying that they will replace cash. Let me tell you, cryptocurrency has serious scalability issues. Cryptocurrency providers themselves admit that there is an issue with the people behind Ethereum saying that the blockchain has reached certain capacity limitations that slow down the rate at which transactions can be processed. This can be a frustrating experience for the participants. One of my opponents mentioned that cryptocurrency is safe and secure. There are a lot of fails when it comes to cryptocurrency, starting with Spacebit, Paycoin, and Zilliqa. These are one of the top 10 cryptos that failed along with bugged finance. This decentralized finance suit lost its assets by almost 100% in 2021. How? By malicious attacks. An unknown hacker had made away with 15 million bugged finance tokens, stealing 3 million of BOG's liquidity. This attack crashed BOG, and although they made attempts to revive it, the coin has not gone over $1 price. Next, Ethereum's DAO, the most anticipated cryptocurrency, collapsed tragically in a short period. It faded away in the crypto markets after some time. And what happened to the Squid Game cryptocurrency? A digital token inspired by the popular South Korean Netflix series Squid Game had lost almost all of its value as it was revealed to be an apparent scam. Yes, a scam. My opponents here believe cryptocurrency that has so many scam cases is going to be the main transaction of our future. Thank you.
Speaker is Mishal of Mahaweli House.
Our cryptocurrencies will do to banks what email did to the postal industries. And yet again, my tactless opponents, we are the ones who are benefited as always. My opponents come here speaking about the loss of electricity and it causes wastages. Transport, fuel, and manufacturing, all three of which regular currencies need, have become the biggest contributors to the global warming, covering a whopping 45% of total emission. And yet again, here, my opponents paint a picture of great sorrow on how cryptocurrencies are destroying our planet. My opponents keep mentioning about how cryptocurrencies are not safe and millions of hackers could hack in. The word crypto itself says how safe the system is. It's impossible for any hackers to hack the system as they would have to hack millions of computers at the same time. My opponents also mention about how volatile the cryptocurrency system is. They have come here quoting the word Bitcoin many times. A recent report on Bloomberg on the 22nd of October showed that the world's oldest currency, the sterling pound, is almost as volatile as Bitcoin and is in the verge of becoming more volatile than Bitcoin. And where is your research now, my dear opponents? And here is the proof of the graph. And also my opponents said how hard it is for the government to track, and they, my dear opponents, want to rely on the banks. And that is how you are here debating and not on your own country, because your country was not reliable. My opponents truly remind me of Dogecoin, as it was started as a joke. In short, my opposition are the type of people that would debate with Thomas Alva Edison, saying that light from fire is enough, and that the light bulb is not needed, as it is too advanced, too reliable, and too hazardous. And if they did debate and win on this topic, then you wouldn't see the beautiful nights and lights. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Hafeed Hussain of Kelani House, the opposing team.
Around, you have a bunch of random people who decide how much a specific currency is worth because it is a decentralized currency. Hence, the definition of value is incredibly different here. The definition of value starts from the outside in as opposed to the inside out. Therefore, if those random people decide to fall out of this specific currency or businesses start to not accept this currency, the value would drop immensely. I would like to call this a trend because nowadays people just over-exaggerate on everything with no proper reasons. For example, the founder of Dogecoin states and quotes, "I made Dogecoin in 2 hours and I didn't consider anything." Despite telling that people with absolute no right of mind decided to invest on it. People like Elon Musk tweeted about just to make it trending so that the illogical people would fall into the trap thinking it's the next big thing and invest so much on it, causing the value to go through the roof, not realizing that people or business simply start to not accept it, all your investments would go down the drain. And just like every other trend out there, people will wake up and see what they have gotten themselves into. As of today, Dogecoin has fallen in value along with many other cryptocurrencies, losing more than 60% since the start of 2002 and more than 90% since all-time high reached in May 2021. Despite statistics proving how much cryptocurrency has fallen, people still invest in it and move towards that. But little did they know, by avoiding the traditional method, it ends up spoiling that country, mainly because that country's currency is undervalued, and the country won't have enough funds to further pay back their debts, as well as to develop and move onwards. So tell me, my fellow opponents, how can something such as cryptocurrencies be the future of transactions with all these major issues? If people were to just think before investing their whole life savings in some random currency in hope that it's somehow going to change their life, it will not. Cryptos will fall and you will be the one at a loss. According to CNBC, more than 46,000 people have lost over $1 billion since the start of 2021. So tell me, how can cryptocurrency be the future of transactions when all it involved is unsophisticated and poorly informed people being lured into gambling but marketed as an investment opportunity? With all this, cryptocurrencies can never be and never will be the future of transactions.
Ashvika Viknaraja, Captain of Kelani House, for the summing up.
Well, instead of raising our voices, how about we raise the game? Our opponents are clearly good at listening and understanding things, aren't they? I have a question for you. My intelligent opponents, what is the topic for today's debate? We are not saying that cryptocurrency cannot be like an alternative to be used in the future. We are not saying that it cannot be used at all in the future, but we are saying that it cannot be the one and only option. Meaning that being the one and only currency, it does not benefit anyone in this world. Why? Because the world is already losing its lifespan due to pollution, greenhouse gas effects, and global warming. By having cryptocurrency as the one and only currency, are we making anything better? No, definitely not. Why support hacking and scams, environmental disasters, and much more? We think it's about time we accept how invalid your arguments are and make more logical decisions instead. And one of my intelligent opponents asked me, if our country was so safe, why are we here? Now let me be the first one to ask you, why are you here? Also, my unwise opponent said that blockchains are hard to decode, making cryptocurrency safer than other online payments. Oh, stop with the unlikely fantasy. Let's see real stats, shall we? First, it's not a safer method. And if it was, why on earth do crypto scams exist? Recently, one of the most highly profile attacks in cryptocurrency is the Binance Exchange that was hacked for 570 million in October 2022. So, my dear opponents, how on earth is this safer than online payments? Moreover, if you want to see whether cryptocurrency is so safe that it can change the entire world, here's the reports that we got from October 2022. Few days ago, this report was released showing the amount of scams that has been occurred. And my opponent's comments say that it's very safe. Also, 2008 was the year when crypto was first invented. And now we're standing in 2022. Think about it, my dear audience and wise opponents. If cryptocurrency were to prove themselves as efficient, safe, and promising, why would we have a debate in the first place? Clearly, cryptocurrency has taken its toll on investors and increasing awareness has been raised. Therefore, there is no reason supporting why cryptocurrency will be, can be, or is even liable to be the future of transactions. Over to you.
We have the captain of Mahaweli House, Bilal Jafris.
Hundreds of thousands of years ago, humans used the barter system for transactions. After that, for many years, they used coins for transactions. When the people were approached and said that you could use paper to replace these valuable coins, they all scoffed. And surely enough, they switched to paper money. A few years later, they said that we'll use plastic instead of this valuable paper. Look what us now. We use plastic cards more than this regular paper money. My team and I come here today saying that digital currencies can replace all of this. And you scoff, my dear opponents. History repeats itself. And my dear opponents, you can debate, deny and disagree all you want. You cannot change. You cannot stop the inevitable. My dear opponents, you do know that regular scamming happens, right? My dear opponents come here and say that, oh, cryptocurrency scams are a thing. Well, my dear opponents, 50 billion US dollars are stolen annually from different types of theft, physical identity and other kinds. Now imagine aggregating every single country's figure. How can you think that this even compares to the tiny amount that cryptocurrency scams have? My opponents mentioned about regulations. Today, cryptocurrencies are regulated by the Banking Act, the SEC, the OFTC, the FinCEN regulation in the USA, and a new cryptocurrency regulation is being implemented as we speak. In the United Kingdom, it is regulated by the FCA, and it has laws in place by the government and the HMRC to improve trading and the use of cryptocurrency, with major regulations coming as soon as the end of this year. My opponents talked about environmental facts. My dear opponents, according to the International Energy Agency, global investment in clean energy is going to hit an all-time high of 2.2 trillion US dollars. Almost 40% of the world's electricity currently is green. Imagine the future. I mean, after all, that is what we are talking about. My opponents came to here asking that why are we having a debate? Well, if regular currency is so secure, why are we having this debate? In conclusion, Galileo Galilei in the 1590s was persecuted and ridiculed by all his people because he said that the earth revolves around the sun, and they didn't accept the norms. He narrowly escaped execution due to his strong beliefs, but today he is praised for what he said. And everything else is merely written off. My dear opponents, you may ridicule us here today, but in the future, when the time comes, you will truly understand that whether you like it or not, cryptocurrency is here to stay.
Very good. It was very difficult for us to judge, but at the end, participation matters.
It was a little motivation. One of my colleagues told me morning.
I was here 6 years ago. I was literally sitting up there 6 years ago. And things have changed so much since then. Back when we were in grade 8, we had to compete with the...
There was a topic that was debated on, and followed by on Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Okay. So I hope that you enjoyed the session.
Okay, we have the results of the senior debate. It has been a very tough competition. The scores prove it. We have Kelani House with 552.1 points. And Mahaweli House, 556.8 points. And Mahaweli House are the winners for the preliminary round 1.